Hello dear students, welcome back all of you to the physics online class. In the previous videos we derived the expression for the wavelength of the spectral line which is emitted during the transition of the electron from the higher energy level to the lower energy level. There we got the formula that is 1 by lambda is equal to 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 upon nf square minus 1 upon ni square, right. And see here R is taken as the Rydberg constant, isn't it? So that Rydberg constant expression can be written as R is equal to m e raised to 4 upon 8 epsilon naught square n square h cube into c. So this will be the Rydberg constant formula here, and so when we substitute the values of m, e and epsilon naught, n, h and c here, we get the value that is R is equal to, here n will not come, h cube c. So when after substitution we get the value 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 per meter. This will be our value. Okay, m e fourth upon 8 epsilon naught square h cube by c. So that will be the formula of the Rydberg constant here. Okay, and see, this is what we discussed about the up to now the points we derived the expression for the radius of the nth orbit and total energy of the electron in the nth orbit in the hydrogen atom, and next about the frequency of the spectral line that is emitted. So during the transition of the electron from the higher energy to the lower, and with respect to that again the frequency we are changed in terms of the wavelength also. Okay, and here remember 1 by lambda, this is also called wave number. This is also called wave number. So sometime in some textbook that 1 by lambda can be represented as a nu bar here. Nu bar means what? That is equal to 1 upon lambda, that is called wave number. Wave number. Am I clear? Okay. And today let us talk about the atomic spectra. First let us talk about the atomic spectra. Every element has its own identification and every element has a spectral series, okay, and that elements can be classified based on the spectral series which are obtained when the electron in that atom will jump from higher energy state to the lower energy state there. Okay, and the first time the atomic spectra of the hydrogen was observed and studied by the scientist called Balmer. Hence he had given an empirical formula that is connecting the relation between the lambda and the orbital number, that is a quantum number here. Okay, so and that number was, and the formula was given by 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 upon 2 square minus 1 upon n square. So this is a formula given by the Balmer, and this Balmer spectrum it will be observed in the case of the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Remember dear students, actually the atomic spectra that was observed by, so first time that was observed by the scientist Balmer. Therefore that Balmer, the spectrum that is called Balmer spectrum or the series is called Balmer series, and where so the formula was given as 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square, and in place of this n I can substitute the higher energy state 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity we can substitute. Actually when we are talking about the atomic spectra, the point comes that when in an atom, In every element that is made up of the molecule, every molecule is consisting the atom. And when an atom is there, that consists the electrons, already we know that, and that electrons when they absorb, or so when they are excited to the higher energy state due to the external energy, they will jump to the higher energy state. And when they are moving from taking transition from the higher energy state to the lower energy state, during that process they emit the photon. Already this point we discussed in the case of the Bohr's atomic model, that is the third postulate of the Bohr's atomic model. And there the emitted radiation has a frequency nu, that is given by the E2 minus E1 upon H, isn't it? And where when the transition takes place, every transition is related to the formation of a spectral line. There is a formation of a spectral line, and that type of the many number of that spectral lines we call as the the line spectrum of the line emission spectrum of the atom we call. What it is called? Line emission spectrum. Line emission spectrum. How did you get this line emission spectrum? Due to the transition of the electrons from the higher orbits to the lower orbits, during that emission of the photon takes place, and that photon has particular wavelength. That wavelength is related to the spectral line. Such a number, such a lines together we call as the spectrum, and that is called line emission spectrum. And in the line emission spectrum of the hydrogen, it is observed that bright lines are formed with the dark backgrounds. In the case of line emission spectrum of the hydrogen, it was observed that there are the formation of the bright lines with the dark background. Am I clear? And see, that is only called as the line emission spectrum. And sometime, assume, let us take, there is a cold hydrogen gas. When white light is passed through that cold hydrogen gas, what happens? The hydrogen, the electrons present in the hydrogen atom, they absorbs the wavelength of the light, and due to that absorption there is a formation of the spectrum. The lines present in that spectrum together gives the spectrum. That spectrum only called as the line absorption spectrum. What it is called? Line absorption spectrum. See dear student, line emission means that is formed when there is a transition of the electron from higher orbits to the lower orbits. Yes, during that time they will emit the photon, that only having the particular wavelength, that each line, when there is a transition, one spectral line will be formed. Such a number of the spectral lines together only form the line emission spectrum there. Yes, and here in the case of line absorption spectrum, what happens? When, assume it is a cold hydrogen gas, when white light is passed through that gas, the electrons present in that hydrogen atom, they absorb certain wavelengths, right? And that wavelength only appeared in the form of the line absorption spectrum. Okay, and this line absorption spectrum is observed with the dark lines with the white background. Dark lines with the white or the bright background. It is just a reverse of the line emission spectrum. In the line emission spectrum, bright lines are observed with the dark background. Okay, but in the case of the line absorption spectrum, we seen that there are the dark lines with the bright backgrounds. Am I clear? Yes. And see this Balmer series. See, this is a Balmer series, and as I told, this was observed. Balmer series was observed in which region? In the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Then how do you get the Balmer series? When electron make a transition from higher energy state to the second orbit. When the electron make a transition from higher energy level or the orbit to the second orbit, the spectrum obtained is called as Balmer series. Okay, and where that is Balmer series is observed in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. And in the case of Balmer series, the first, so that orbit will be which one? Second orbit, and n here we can substitute as a 3, 4, 5 like that. And if you apply this on the above expression only for this also, so other hydrogen, see, along with the Balmer series, other series is also there. So what are those series? Means another series of the hydrogen atom are, that is Lyman series. Lyman series. In the Lyman series, means Lyman series is formed when the electron make a transition from higher energy state to the first energy orbit or first orbit. Yes, and in the Lyman series, the formula can be implemented, that is 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 upon 1 square minus 1 upon n square. In case of this, so Lyman series, n value can be taken as 2, 3, 4 up to infinity we can consider, right. And this Lyman series was observed in the region of ultraviolet region. Remember, this was observed in the ultraviolet region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Am I clear? So in the Lyman series, which one will be the first orbit? The first orbit will be the, so orbit number 1, and remaining n we can substitute here 2, 3, 4 like that. Or else if you want to use this formula, then here you can write that in the Lyman series NF will be 1 and Ni can be taken as a 2, 3, 4 like that up to infinity. Okay, and the second series is, as we discussed, Balmer series only, and the next series is Paschen series. Paschen series. This series of spectral lines are obtained when electron make a transition from higher energy state to the third orbit. From where to where? Higher energy state to the third orbit. And in the case of Paschen series, we write the formula 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by 3 square minus 1 by n square, where we can write that NF is equal to 3 and Ni is equal to how much? 4, 5, 6 up to infinity we can consider. So this is for the Paschen series, and this series is observed in the infrared region, where it is observed in the infrared region of electromagnetic spectrum. Infrared region of electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, and the next one is the Brackett series. Brackett series. The Brackett series is obtained when electron make a transition from higher energy state to the fourth orbit. Higher energy state to the fourth orbit. Therefore, in case of Brackett series, the formula wavelength of the lines can be given as 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 upon 4 square minus 1 upon n square. That means here we have considered NF as a 4 and Ni as a, except 4 means 5, 6, 7 up to infinity. And this Brackett series was also observed in the infrared region only of the electromagnetic spectrum, right. So this was also observed in IR region. IR means what? Infrared region, right? And the last series is the Fund series. Fund series. The Fund series is obtained when electron make a transition from higher energy orbits to the fifth energy orbit, that is higher energy orbit to the fifth orbit of the hydrogen. So then here, so 1 by lambda can be taken as equal to 1 upon 5 square minus 1 upon n square, and here NF is taken 5 and Ni will be is equal to 6, 7 up to infinity, and this Fund series was also observed in the IR region only. IR region only. Am I clear, dear students? See, so when we talk about the atomic spectra, first we need to understand how the line emission spectrum and the line absorption spectrum is obtained. After that, there was a scientist called Balmer who studied about the wavelength of the spectral lines, and he had given an empirical formula, that is 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square, and this Balmer series is obtained when electron make a transition from higher energy levels to the second orbit. Therefore, here we used so that NF as a 2 and Ni can be taken as 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity. And remember, the lines that are spectral lines in the Balmer series can be named as the spectral lines of Balmer series of a hydrogen atom. Particularly which atom we are talking? Particularly about hydrogen atom. That Balmer lines are named as H alpha, H beta, H gamma and H delta. Like that they are named. Yes. So, these are the names of the spectral lines in the Balmer series in the hydrogen atom. And see, dear students, whatever 5 series we discussed here, these are applicable only to the hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atom. What are a hydrogen like atom? Singly ionized helium, doubly ionized lithium are considered to be the hydrogen like atom. So, and these series are only applicable to such atoms only. Am I clear? Okay. And see, now let us move to the energy level diagram. We discussed the 5 different series here. Then how that spectral series can be obtained? Let us see with the energy level diagram here. Energy level diagrams. Yes, and here in this, first let us take a continuum, that means n value will be at infinity, and after that we can take the higher energy states. Here let us take a number of the orbits here. I can name here n equal to 1, n equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that infinity up to n equal to infinity we have considered. And here what I am taking, energy versus the orbit number. Energy is taken here, and we know that in the last class. So, we have seen the formula. In the first orbit, what will be the energy value? 13.6 electron volt, isn't it? Here the energy will be in the electron volt only, right? And in the first orbit, the energy is minus 13.6. And if you come to the second, that will come minus 3.49. Like that, minus 1.56. Like that, the energy value will be changing. Energy is expressed in the electron volt. Okay, let us see now how the different series are formed when there is a transition of electron from the higher energy orbit to the respective orbits here. So, in the Lyman series we know that, so where the electron that should enter means from where to where it should come, from higher energy state to the first state or first orbit. Then see here, one let us take from higher to the first state here, and one I can take from the last. Okay. And you can see that electron jumped from the second means the third, fourth, like that from the infinity when it is taken transition to the first orbit. Which series is formed here? Lyman series is formed. Where it is observed? In the ultraviolet region it is observed, right. And second, that is the Balmer series. Balmer series is observed when a transition from a higher energy state to the second orbit, higher energy state to the second orbit. So, this is called a Balmer series, Balmer, and this series is observed in a where? Visible region. It is observed in visible region. And next let us move to the Paschen series, where the Paschen series is observed when transition takes from the higher energy state to the third orbit. This is what we call Paschen series, and this is observed in the IR region. Yes. Similarly, next one Brackett series. Yes, this is the Brackett series, and this is also observed in the IR region. And last one is the Fund series. Fund series. This is a Fund series. Okay. So, am I clear? This is how the energy level diagrams are represented for the respective series. In the Lyman series you can see the transition taken from higher energy state to the first orbit, and in the Balmer higher energy state to the second orbit, in a Paschen higher energy to the third orbit, and in the Brackett that is from higher energy to the fourth orbit. Lastly, for the Fund it is from higher energy to the fifth orbit. Accordingly, we can calculate the wavelength and also the frequency of the spectral lines for the respective number of the orbit. Am I clear? And see dear student, actually sometime on this concept there may be one numerical question will come. So, there the question may come as a calculate the longest frequency and the shortest frequency of the respective spectral series. They may give the Brackett or the Balmer or the Lyman, whatever. There they will ask to find you the what the respective shortest frequency or the longest frequency. Remember, in any series out of this 5, in any series, the first line, the first spectral line in the series will have longest wavelength. Am I clear dear student? In any series, first spectral line has the longest wavelength. And you know that wavelength and the frequency are reciprocal to each other. If the spectral line has the longest wavelength, what will be its frequency? Shortest frequency. Am I clear? One you fix in your mind. If you are keeping that is a first spectral line in any series having longest wavelength, its reverse will be the frequency. Okay. And similarly, any series, the last line will be having shortest wavelength. And for the last line, we know that n can be taken as infinity. For the last line in any series, we can consider n is equal to infinity, that is ni we can write. We have taken here ni, no, that ni will be taken infinity for the last line, and that last line will be having shortest wavelength. Am I clear? So, if you keep this in your mind, then it is easy for you to calculate the wavelength of the longest wavelength as well as the shortest wavelength. Okay? Yes. And see dear students, we are at the end of the topic, that is de Broglie hypothesis for Bohr's second postulate, de Broglie hypothesis or de Broglie explanation for Bohr's second postulate. What the Bohr's second postulate gives me an information that it tells that the angular momentum of an electron in the nth orbit is equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Yes, and de Broglie explanation, de Broglie given about an idea of the matter waves. According to de Broglie, every moving matter, it is associated with the wave. So that only called as the matter wave. Here also de Broglie explained, consider an electron which is revolving in an orbit around the nucleus, and when that electron is revolving, that is considered to be the wave, that is a particle actually that is associated with the wave, that only called as the matter wave, and that can revolve only in a circular orbit which is having that value 2 pi Rn is equal to integral multiple of the wavelength. What the de Broglie given? Actually now we are talking about de Broglie explanation for Bohr's second postulate. That means by starting, we start with the de Broglie explanation and we bring the formula for the Bohr's second postulate here. Yes, and according to de Broglie, he considered that, so there is a nucleus and there is one orbit around the nucleus where the electron is revolving, and this electron when it is revolving, as he told, that is associated with a wave that only called as matter wave. Therefore, in order to explain that how he is considered, the electron is moving in this wave form. Okay. So, and this electron he considered that wave is a stationary wave, and that is stationary wave, that means when you are considering the point of the wave here, the orbit should be stationary, what he told, and that orbit will be stationary when, so that 2 pi Rn is equal to integral multiple of the wavelength of the wave here. Yes, and see, from de Broglie explanation, from de Broglie hypothesis or the explanation, we obtained a wavelength of the electron, isn't it? In the previous chapter, dual nature of the matter and the radius, there we discussed about the formula, that is de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h upon p. Then here we used h upon, that is p means momentum, that momentum is m into Vn. And in the above equation, let us substitute the lambda value. Then here what happens, 2 pi Rn is there, that is equal to n into, in the place of lambda, now I will substitute h upon m into Vn, isn't it? And just rearrange the terms here, take this mVn here and 2 pi here. mVn Rn is equal to n, keep as it is, here what comes now, h upon 2 pi. Then see dear students, this is nothing but what? The angular momentum. Yes, the angular momentum. Yes, what the Bohr's second postulate state us, the angular momentum of an electron in the nth orbit is equal to integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. Am I clear? Yes, this is the what? The de Broglie given explanation for the Bohr's second postulate. Yes, I hope dear students you understood all the points what we discussed in this chapter. And see, here we started with the different models of the atom where different scientists had given their idea about the atomic structure. First one is a J.J. Thomson model, next we move to the Rutherford's atom model, and there a few of the failures we found. Then we went to the Bohr's, Neil Bohr's atom model, and there the three postulates had been discussed, and along with that postulates we also learned the limitations of the Bohr's atomic model. What are the limitations? It could not be applied for the complex ions or the complex compounds. And Bohr's atomic model failed to explain the intensity of the spectral lines, and it is failed to give the fine structure of the spectral lines, and it could not explain the Zeeman and the Stark effect also. Yes, these are the few drawbacks of the Bohr's atomic model, and later we derived the expression for radius of the nth orbit, and next total energy of electron in the nth orbit, frequency, wavelength, and today we discussed all the series which are related to the atomic spectra of the hydrogen. And see dear students, these formulas are applicable only to the hydrogen or hydrogen like atoms, right. And at the last we discussed about the de Broglie explanation for the Bohr's hypothesis or the second postulate. Okay. So, I hope you understood. If any questions you can ask me. Thank you for watching this video.